Hi everybody, I'm Danny Dancer. I'm the Kidtropolis Educator here at Children's Museum Houston, and today's Educator Moment is sponsored by Reliant Energy. So today what I'm going to do is show you how you can make your own recycled paper using paper that you don't need anymore. Now, recycling is actually really important for our environment, and one of the reasons is because it actually uses a lot less energy to recycle something into that same material than to create something brand new. Now, when it comes to paper, for example, we can take fibers from trees and we can mash them into pulp and turn them into paper. But there is a step in the process that takes a lot of energy, and that is the step of removing something called lignin from that plant. So lignin is part of plant cells that helps those plants' stems grow up nice and strong and tall. And when it's in paper, it can affect the paper quality, like the paper might change color when you don't want it to over time. So they actually have to chemically treat and separate the lignin from the rest of the material that's used for that paper, and that takes a lot of energy to do that. But once you've done it, if you recycle that same paper, you don't have to go through that same step. So that's how it saves energy. So today I'm going to show you how you can make your own paper out of some materials you might have around your house. To make your recycled paper, you need some paper that you've already used and a bin. You need some water and a bowl to mix your paper and water together in. And you need either a blender or a food processor. You will also need something to strain the water away from your paper, and for our mold, a cookie cutter. To begin, take 2 to 3 pieces of paper and cut or tear them into very small pieces. Pour some water over your paper and let it soak. After about 30 minutes, pour your soaked paper and water into your food processor or blender. Make sure you have a parent's permission and supervision to use this. If you need to, add a little bit of extra water and blend it up. Next, we want to separate some of the water from the pulp. To do that, pour it over a mesh strainer. If you'd prefer, you can use a screen like you might have in a window. Tap it a few times to get some of the extra water out. Next, take your cookie cutter and place it on a towel and pour your pulp inside the cookie cutter. Using your fingers, spread the pulp around to the edges of the inside of the cookie cutter. Now we want to press out all of the extra water. You can do that with your fingers, or you can use part of the towel or a sponge to soak up some of the water. Once your pulp is pretty flat and you've squeezed out as much water as you can remove the cookie cutter. And leave it on the towel to dry, or if you'd prefer, you can place it on a rack. And once your paper is dry, it'll look a little something like this. Now, it does take a while for it to dry, usually overnight, to get all of that water to evaporate from that paper itself. But once it's dry, you've got your own cool-shaped piece of paper. You can write a little note and give it to somebody you love. You can use it as a gift tag. So this is a really fun project to do, to practice recycling on your own as we work together to conserve energy. Thanks very much, everybody, for joining us for today's Educator Moment, which was sponsored by Reliant Energy, and we'll see you all again soon. Bye.